Hello, and welcome to the Employer Orientation webinar for the IWA Forced Industry Pension and LTD Plans. Our pension and LTD plans are a valuable part of your employee's financial life, so thank you for taking the time to join us today. This webinar was created to help you understand some of the areas in which the Plan Office can support your organization and some essential points to remember when reporting and making contributions. Today we'll be covering subjects that we receive the most inquiries about, as well as topics asked for in previous webinars. It's a lot of information, so if you have any questions, please type them into the Q&A box. At the end of the presentation, Gary and Kaljit will be happy to answer them. If your questions are relating to your specific account, they will contact you after the presentation by phone or email. First, we'll start with some information about the pension plan. The Plan Office is a third-party administrator independent of industry and union. We work for the Board of Trustees, which is made up of 8 union and 8 industry trustees. The purpose of the pension plan is to provide a lifetime pension in retirement. This supplements additional income sources, including the Canadian Pension Plan, Old Age Security, and personal savings, and where appropriate, guaranteed income supplement. Last year, we paid out over $270 million to almost 30,000 retirees and beneficiaries. The LTD plan was custom developed for workers in the forest industry who become injured or ill. The Plan Office administers the LTD plan, which is governed by our LTD board made up of 4 industry and 4 union trustees. The LTD plan provides monthly income benefits, extended benefits, and rehabilitation services to members who are unable to work due to a long-term illness or injury. The goal of the LTD plan is to get workers safely back to work after disability. Having this plan is a valuable incentive for hiring. Last year, 97% of members in receipt of disability benefits who were deemed fit to return to work successfully returned to work. In markets where competition for new hires is high, having pension and long-term disability plans gives you a distinct advantage over employers without these benefits. In addition, the security of having a pension in retirement and a disability plan in case of injury or illness are key elements to help retain employees who you have spent time and resources training and developing. Predictable contribution rates are a benefit of the large-scale and professional management of both plans. With inflation and the cost of living going through the roof over the last few years, it's good to know the contribution rate for the pension plan has stayed the same since 2014, while the benefits level improved in 2022. In 2020, the LTD contribution rate was actually reduced. With the Plan Office administering both plans, you don't need to hire benefit administrators or create resources to support the plans. We do this for you, and we're always working to improve our systems like EmployerConnect and MemberConnect. Plus, our staff are just a phone call away for assistance and always happy to help. The Plan Office is here to support employers with reporting hours, system support, and plan rules for both plans. Our staff are here Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. You can communicate with us by phone, email, or securely through EmployerConnect. New copies of the updated Employer Administration Manual, Status Update Reporting Guide, and Contributory Hours Reporting Guide were mailed to you in January. They're also included online. You can find them in the Employer tab of our website under Manuals and Guides, and you can also access them when you're in your EmployerConnect account. The easiest thing to do when you're searching for an answer is to use the electronic copy of these guides and do a search for the topic you're looking for. As we update the guides from time to time, it's best to click on the resource button in your EmployerConnect account or go to our website for the most recent version. Next, we'll review your responsibilities. Along with submitting your employees' hours and providing notifications regarding changes, as a participating employer, you are required to make contributions to your employees' pension and or LTD plans according to plan rules. You are also required to take contributions off your employees' pay and hold these funds, along with the employer portion, in trust with the obligation to remit both employee and employer contributions to the plans within a 30-day time frame. Keeping the lines of communication open helps to prevent miscommunication. It's especially important that we know about any changes in your organization, as this helps to keep your account secure and prevent errors. For example, you need to contact the plan office when a new employee has been hired to prepare your reports, submit hours, or update employee records. If you're not informed about the personnel change, we will not be able to give them information or training when they call in for assistance. We need to receive documentation from you which specifies they are authorized to make queries on your behalf. We do this in order to protect information about your company and your employees. This slide shows examples of when you need to update us. You can find additional events that require notice in your Employer Administration Manual. Timely reporting is essential. This is because your employees don't get their pension credits unless hours are reported and contributions are paid. Reporting status changes is also important to your employees, as they can generate unfunded pension credits. Unfunded hours help to bring your employees' credited service up to the 1,800-hour threshold they need to earn a full year of pension. When you register new employees, please provide their full legal name and always use this when reporting. You'll also need to provide your new employees with a pre-retirement designation of beneficiary forms, which they can fill and return to us. Reminding your employees to sign up for EmployerConnect is another way to support them. When you enter into your USW collective agreement, you are agreeing to participate in the pension and/or LTD plans. Not only are you contributing to the plan, but you are also making deductions on behalf of your employees, and all contribution funds are to be held in trust. Please refer to your collective agreement for the contribution rates applicable to you. If there's an issue with reporting, we ask that you keep the lines of communication open to let us know what's happening. We understand that sometimes delays cannot be avoided, and we do our best to work with our participating employers. If we're not receiving reports and contributions on time and we don't hear from you, we need to escalate matters, which can lead to an increase in costs for you. As the administrators of the plans, we have a responsibility to your employees and our members to see that contributions are coming in on time. When submitting your reports, please double check the information. When reports are incomplete or inaccurate, it can result in your employees not receiving the credits they are entitled to. It will also result in follow-up calls from our contributions team. We also ask you please keep your company and employee information secure by entering your information directly in EmployerConnect or e-submitting through EmployerConnect rather than emailing, which is not secure. Feedback from our employers shows that choosing a reporting schedule which matches your payroll eliminates timing discrepancies and makes reporting quicker and easier. You have the flexibility to choose your preferred reporting schedule, and these are the most popular choices. In addition, when your payroll aligns with your reporting schedule, your audits will be simpler and the auditors don't need to ask as many questions. To learn about funded and unfunded hours, making status updates, visit our YouTube channel or type in BITLY hours-updates-webinar to view the ins and out of reporting hours and making status updates. In this video, we show you some best practice tips that help to make reporting smoother. Our redesigned contributory hours reporting guide has been overhauled to make reporting quicker and easier. You can find it on the website under the Employer tab and by keying in the URL on this page. When you open the new guide, you'll notice that the different types of employee hours are no longer categorized, but are now alphabetized in the table. This makes for quick and easy reference when determining when your contributions need to be made to the pension or LTD plans. In January 2023, there were changes to both ESA and Return to Work provisions. Your contributory hours guide and employer manual provides details about these changes. So here we go with some frequent questions we receive. We're often asked when contributions start for new employees. If you're unsure if your new employee worked for another participating employer, reach out to the contributions team and we'll let you know whether they have or not. With pension, it's pretty straightforward. Contributions start from the very first hour worked. With LTD, there's a couple of things to remember. If your new employee was previously covered by the LTD plan within the last 18 months, their eligibility begins the first hour worked for your company. This excludes returning summer students. If they worked in the industry over 18 months ago, they need to restart the eligibility period, which will be the same as your health and welfare plan probation periods. Remember, there are some exceptions, so please refer to your contributory hours guide. Not everyone receives LTD coverage, so not all employees contribute to the plan. Casual, part-time, and probationary employees are not eligible for LTD membership in the plan, but you'll need to refer to your collective agreement for these. It's also important to note that you and your employee do not pay LTD contributions after your employee turns 59.5 years old. The reason for this? LTD coverage generally goes up to age 60, and should your employee go on disability leave, they would be on short-term disability for 6 months leading up to their 60th birthday. We'll move on to status updates and why they're so important to your employees and our members. Status types affect plan members' pension credits and coverage in the LTD plan. Status updates are vital to your employees because this is how your employees earn their unfunded pension credits. Unfunded hours are important because they can help to bring your employees' credited service up to the 1,800-hour threshold they need in order to earn a full year of pension. Participating employers must submit status updates every reporting period. When an employee is laid off on WCB, short-term disability, or long-term disability leaves, you need to keep us updated on a regular basis to let us know if the status is the same or has changed. This generates unfunded credits. When status updates are left unreported, employees can lose out on the pension credits they're entitled to when they're not working, for the reasons shown on this slide. Year over year, this can really add up. This guide can be found on our website or by keying in the URL listed on this slide. When reporting status changes, employers commonly forget to report when an employee is laid off and when an employee is terminated. Both situations cause issues. When an employee is terminated but not reported, your employee list is inaccurate and can be much longer and harder to work with. When an employee is laid off, their unfunded credits accumulate on a weekly basis of 7 days. Reporting a full 7-day week will generate 40 hours of unfunded pension credits. If you report 6 days or less, this will not generate any unfunded hours. So please refer to the guide, and if you have any further questions, contact the plan office so your employee's status is up to date and accurate. And now we'll move on to EmployerConnect. New security features are coming soon to EmployerConnect. In the coming months, we'll be reaching out to employers to verify who is responsible for remitting contributions, adding employee information, or making status changes. This will be an annual process called contact verification. We'll also be deactivating employer accounts that have not been used in 6 months. In addition, multi-factor authentication, or MFA, will be added to EmployerConnect to help reduce the risk of security breaches and to protect member and employer data. EmployerConnect is a safe and secure way to report hours, send and receive material, and communicate with the plan office. Through EmployerConnect, you have easy access to the latest guides, manuals, and forms. You can also post employee hours, report contributory hours, make status updates, download or upload TA reports, download a statement summary, and submit payments. We'll soon be adding new improvements to EmployerConnect. multi-factor authentication, known as MFA, which helps to keep your employer account secure. We'll also be adding file parsing, a function that effectively reads your upload and helps to catch errors relating to employee information, hours, and status updates. When you log into your EmployerConnect account, it's good practice to review some key areas. On the left side of your screen, you'll see contacts. These are the employees who have administrative rights to your account. If an employee responsible for remitting contributions, adding employee information, or making status changes leaves their position, you need to ensure they are removed from the list so they no longer have access to your account and your employee's personal information. Please make sure to contact the plan office to delete contacts. You can do this by email, secure email, phone, or fax. If your company has several divisions, please check through the contact list of each one. Different companies or divisions are located at the top of your homepage. Again, contact the plan office to delete any administrators who no longer work for you. It's also good practice to regularly check your inbox. This is where you'll find messages relating to the system, plan rules, and direct correspondence from the plan office regarding your account. Next, we'll move on to how to report employee hours. You have a couple of options on how to best report employee hours. Which one you select depends on how many employees you have. You can choose to key in the hours directly to EmployerConnect, or you can upload a CSV report. Keying hours indirectly is the best option for companies with few employees. And uploading a CSV report is the best option for companies with many employees. We'll do a video demonstration for both methods.
In this video, we'll be demonstrating how to make status updates and how to initiate revisions to prior status updates. We'll start with making current status updates first. In EmployerConnect, we have two ways of entering status updates. The first and best option for employers who manually enter hours each pay period is here in Billing Statement. This is where you enter status updates while entering employee hours. Select the open pay period you're currently working on. Click on the down arrow to show your employee list. Next, you enter hours for each employee, which we'll do here. If you come across an individual whose status is changing, you select the appropriate status. The major change is that now you need to indicate an end date to all statuses except where the end date is grayed out and not required. Why do we need end dates? They're needed to track unfunded hours. If unfunded hours aren't accurately recorded, employees can have gaps in their work history, and this can negatively impact them. So, you can add your end dates one by one, or you can wait until the next step after posting, and this is what we'll do. So, you post the same way as always by clicking the up arrow, and now a new screen will pop up showing all the employees who have other statuses besides active. If you know the work status end date, you can manually enter it here, which we'll do now. If you don't know the end date, you can set a default date of your pay period end. You can do this simply by clicking the tick box at the left. This will autofill all the boxes with your pay period end date. Remember, you need to deselect the ones that you manually filled in. Next, you click Default End Date, which is located at the top right side of your screen. When an employee's end date is autofilled, the status will carry forward and be saved for the following pay period. The end date will show up blank on the next pay period. If the status changes on a specific date, you'll manually enter it in. But if it hasn't changed, you'll autofill the end date to the default end date. And you'll do this again and again for each pay period until you have the actual status end date. This helps to ensure that a status doesn't remain open. So we click Next now. This review screen captures all active employees with no hours reported for the period. If you see the name of a person whose status needs to be changed, such as a termination, you scroll to their name and change their status and enter the date. You may be surprised to know that most employee lists have the names of long terminated workers. So doing this really helps to clean up your employee lists. When you're done, click Next. And here you click Confirm. And now your pay period is submitted and closed. As a side note, if you work for a larger employer who uploads hours and status updates, we will soon be releasing a function which will automatically turn the data in your Excel spreadsheet into data within EmployerConnect. And we'll announce this in EmployerConnect when it's launched.
Remember, if you're a member of the IWA Forest Industry Ltd plan, you no longer need to key in Ltd hours for your employees. Data and status information for members on Ltd comes directly from the Ltd plan.
The other way to update an employee's work status is in the employee list. In the previous section, we showed you one way to add a new status, and here's another way to do it. Go to the employee list. Select your employee by clicking the down arrow. Go to the View or Add Work Status tab. This is a new addition, and as you'll see, it's very helpful to have. So in here you see the employee's prior status history. If an error was made, a change can be easily initiated by you. But here's also where you can add a new status. So let's do this now. Click the plus button in the shaded area. Pick the status type and put in your dates. Next, you save your changes by clicking the green disc on the left side. So, if you need to revise a status or change a start or end date, you can also do it here. So here we go. We'll stay on the same employee for this example. To change their status, you do the following. You locate the incorrect status and press the plus button beside this status that you need to revise. On this screen, you confirm it's the correct item by pressing Continue. Now here you need to provide a note which goes to our team explaining why the status is being changed. So you put this in and you press Submit. At this point, we'll review your request and then we'll send a message to you on your EmployerConnect account within 5 business days. You can see your change by going into your sent items. Here you'll see your request for your change status, your status update change. And it's at the top. So this wraps up the new functions in EmployerConnect, which will make your status updates more accurate, easier to review, update, and revise. Thank you.
At this time, adjusted or deleted employee status are still visible in your employee list. We are working on having this removed. If you're a larger employer with many employees, the best option for you is to upload your employee hours in a CSV file. In the coming months, you'll see a new system improvement to the upload function in EmployerConnect. This update is called file parsing. The need for this improvement has come about due to invalid and incomplete data when reporting employee hours and entering employee data. For example, sometimes reported employee hours contradict plan rules. The system will catch these errors in real time. Other issues are that members who have aged out of the plan are not always removed. In addition, there are employees who have not been fully enrolled in the plans. These are other real-time catches that the system will make. What does this mean for you? Your employee list will be cleaner, pay period reports will be more accurate, generating fewer questions from the plan office, and your audits will be smoother. The system improvements will benefit your employees by promoting accuracy. This helps to prevent gaps in work history and also provides quick connection with the plan office for delivery of important member resources and notifications. We will connect with you by email and through EmployerConnect to let you know when the file parsing improvement is implemented. In the meantime, here's a video demo showing the current method of uploading a CSV file to the plan office.
As mentioned earlier, uploading a CSV file is the best option for companies with many employees. In this video demonstration, we'll show you the preferred method to do this upload. This method helps to eliminate errors, resulting in less follow-up from the plan office. When you're in your EmployerConnect account, select Billing Statement. Identify the statement period you'll be reporting on. The statement you select must have an open status. Next, you select the down arrow to show your employee list. You'll now see a list of your active employees for the selected period. So this is the preferred way to upload your hours. You will click on the CSV button for your selected statement. This will initiate the export and your browser will start to download the file immediately. When it's downloaded, open the CSV file in Microsoft Excel. So we're just going to expand our columns here. So what you'll do is review and update all the information in the Excel file and fill in the applicable pension and LTD hours for each employee who worked this pay period. So we're just going to do that here. I'll just take a second. So when we're finished that, we will enter in any work status updates showing start and end dates. So please be aware of any start dates outside of the pay period and make sure that dates are always within the reporting pay period. For instance, Olive Maple was laid off this pay period, so we're going to indicate that here. We'll pop the dates in. Our next employee, Spruce Axe, was laid off for the last 2 weeks, so we're going to report this as well as his hours worked. We've got the date in. We'll put in his hours. Our next employee, Will Oak, his employment was terminated, so we'll indicate this as well as the termination start date, which is the only date that we need for a termination. And because of this, Will Oak will no longer appear on any of our further CSV files. And this helps to keep the employee list active and accurate. So now that we're finished here, we will save our Excel file. Now, a couple of helpful things to remember when adding new employees, make sure they're enrolled in EmployerConnect so we have their complete information. When saving your files, do not password protect them because you won't be sending them by email. So now that our file is saved, we go back to the EmployerConnect account and we identify the statement period that we want to report and click the Upload TA button. At this point, the file browser opens and we select the file that we just completed and click Open. Now you may need to specify all files in order to see the CSVs. So now the CSV file has been successfully uploaded and a pop-up will confirm that a message has been sent to the plan office notifying us that the file is ready for processing. And you'll also notice that the pay period status now says in progress. So within 2 business days, your hours will be posted and showing the contributions owing. You will also have the option to download your statement summary report, which will be available when your statement status says closed. What you need to do is just click the download statement button, which will no longer be grayed out. As mentioned earlier in the presentation, the file upload function will soon be updated with file parsing to improve data accuracy and employee engagement with the plans. So we'll reach out to you by email and through EmployerConnect when the changes are live, and we'll also provide a new demo video which will outline step-by-step instructions for the new update. Thank you.
Kaljit and Carolina are the contributions account managers at the plan office, and most often they're the ones you'll speak to when you need assistance. When you call in, they'll be happy to answer your questions and provide training. We do our best to provide accurate information, but not every rule or situation is covered. This presentation is not a substitute for the plan text, which is available by contacting the plan office. If there are any inconsistencies between this presentation and the plan text will always govern. If you have any questions about your account or about EmployerConnect, contact the plan office and we will be happy to help you. And now on to our Q&A. If you have questions and you haven't done so already, please type them into the Q&A field on your screen. If your questions are specific to your account, we'll give you a call following this Q&A session.